as of yesterday, I have officially registered for a 50-mile ultra marathon. It's exactly 7 weeks and 3 days away, which gives me just enough time to peak my mileage, get a few hard weeks of training in, taper, recover, and show up for the day. As you guys know, if you've been following along my Return to Ultra series, this year was the year I decided that I would get back and run an ultra marathon, and my goal this entire time has been a 50 miler. Now, there is nothing against 50Ks. I actually sat down yesterday getting ready to register for the 50K version of this race because the 50 miler was sold out, but spots were open that weren't open when I looked 2 weeks ago before I was out of office for my elopement and honeymoon. And I took it as a sign from the universe that I needed to run this race. So we got a tight timeline, but I'm gonna be documenting a ton over the next few weeks. So if you are watching this and you are excited and interested, if you can go ahead and leave a comment below what you'd like to see as I peak and prep and taper and train for this, and on race day itself. After that Boulder Skyline Traverse in late May, which was a bucket list item for me, I was really excited about. I then had like a conference and then a good week of training and then another conference with travel and then a good week of training, but I was also getting ready to move back across the country from Colorado back to the East Coast. So if you don't follow me along on the gram, you might have missed the announcement. Essentially, my husband and I have been doing distance since November of last year. And I had decided that logistically, me being in Colorado and him being out here, even for another year, was just too much and too messy and too hard, especially with us finally tying the knot after all these years. And so I'm back on the East Coast, and I had moved, and that's been a little haywire, but I've actually done a pretty good job just getting those miles in and prioritizing my training despite that. And last week we went out on our formal elopement honeymoon out in the Sierra Nevada mountains. And while we were there from Sunday through Saturday of that week, I did 65 miles of hiking and trail running and a ton of vert, and my body handled it really, really well. Now, that was the kind of sign that I needed, that I was ready, that my body was ready, my body can do this, and it's been really hard coming back from injury to trust in that. But my friend that I've been texting, she's like, you just gotta do it, right? Like, and I kind of had this big pep talk with myself where I'm like, you either sign up or you don't. And I gave myself permission to even sign up for the 50K, just based logistically on races this year. I knew that if I didn't run a race the last week of September or the first week of October, with everything else I have going on, it wasn't going to happen. So it was do or die time. And it was just a sign from the universe that 50 miler had opened, that I needed to return to the 50 mile distance. So I'm really excited to share the next few weeks with you all. I'm so excited to document this peaking and prepping. And then I'm going to try to take you through as much as I can of my training the next few weeks. So again, if you're here for the day in training, a week in training, how I prep, how I prepare, let me know below what you want to see, because I want to make sure I'm gearing this content towards you and what is going to be most beneficial for you or entertaining or whatever it is here while I prepare for this process. My thoughts are things like, of course, a week of training, how I eat like 400 grams of carbs in a day, and some things like that I think might be really helpful for you guys to see what I'm doing, and also how, dialed in I am, but not obsessive and serious, and how we're just getting the work done and getting it in and prioritizing, recovery throughout that process. So I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so excited to share the rest of this journey with you, but I wanted to get this out here and give you guys this update as soon as I could, so we can get going on documenting the final push, the last 7 weeks of this push of my Return to Ultra journey. So hopefully I will virtually see you guys with me out there on the roads and the trails this fall. Let's do it. So I'm out here on a nice, easy hour-long Zone 2 run this morning. And, this is my first run since officially signing up for that race and deciding I'm going for it. And I was thinking to myself how often people will sign up for things like races or say they're going to do something and they get that little bit of excitement, that validation of saying they're going to do it, and they stop there. And I think people forget that, it's easy to say you're going to do something, but it's not easy to show up and do the work required of doing that thing, right? It's easy to say, I'm going to run a marathon, I'm going to run a 5K, I'm going to do the Dopey Challenge, I'm going to do a triathlon. It's really easy to say, I'm going to do that. But it's hard when that alarm goes off, or you got to lace up your shoes, or you got to get out the door, or life's busy, or you're tired. And it's okay to say to yourself, you know what? this isn't the time, this isn't the season, this isn't for me right now. But if it is, and you want it, it is up to you to get out there and do that work, to show up, to, be there for yourself. Last year, it's been really nice is that I haven't had a race on the calendar, and I've just been showing up and doing the work anyway, because I knew that I wanted the outcome regardless of what the goal ended up being. All right, my friends, we are back home. I did a 6-mile run with 3 30-second striders afterwards. Since I didn't do any striders kind of the last 2 weeks, I wanted to ease back in with just a few. I don't want my legs to feel super sore coming off last week because we're probably still recovering a little bit, but I am starving. I only had a little bit of carbs in me before I went out the door this morning because it was 64 degrees and cool, and I just wanted to get out there and get the run done. It felt amazing. It's kind of nice. I'm watching my paces start to drop in zone 2, which is proof in the pudding of the process. And so now I'm gonna make some breakfast. So ever since last week, we ate so much sweet stuff on trail. I have been craving nothing but like savory and fats and that kind of type of food. So a breakfast that I really like to make when I have time that I totally forgot about it is one that I used to buy at a restaurant when I was my PhD in Athens. Now, I don't have all the ingredients right now. I do have them coming today with my grocery delivery, but it's really just a base of quinoa and rice with eggs. And then I have avocados over there that you cut up and put into it, and then you put edamame in it, and it's like such a great, easy little high protein breakfast. But since I'm waiting for all of the ingredients, I'm just gonna eat some rice, quinoa mix. I get this at I think this is from Costco or Sam's Club, and some eggs, and then I'm gonna add some egg whites to boost the protein. And when I'm training at a really high volume of activity each week, getting a lot of carbs in can be really hard, and I try to get as much as I can from more whole grain sources, but I do a lot of bagels, English muffins, cereal to fill it in, but juice helps me a lot too. And so I did buy a thing of this Green Goddess Boathouse Farms. I know these kinds of things get a lot of slack, but for me, it's a way for me to get in just sugar, fructose. I'm not worried about the sugar, especially at post-run. I'm gonna lift later today. I want that for recovery, while also getting in nutrients, but I'm gonna pair it with a meal so there's some fats and proteins there, so I'm not just getting a glucose spike, since I don't feel like hypoglycemic or anything after finishing my run. So for me right now, with training increasing, I know that you can get a really slippery slope of your nutrient value of your foods decreasing because you're just eating refined grains and protein shakes. And so I try to get in nutrients where I can, in a way that seems easy and quite honestly taste like I'm willing to eat it. And then I'm gonna eat some berries just on the side as a plant here as well. So really simple, easy breakfast. Don't judge me, I'm gonna straight up microwave my eggs today. Regis didn't wash the pan after he cooked eggs this morning, and I don't feel like it. And honestly, I'm just gonna mix it all into the bowl anyway, so I don't care if you're judging me. And then after that, I'm just gonna sit and work for a bajillion hours and then go do my lift this afternoon. So living the dream. All right, so I have been working on a PowerPoint presentation for the List Method clients. This is our last week in our Full Send Summer Challenge. And so we are going to be going over trail running, hiking, and backpacking nutrition with them. And so I've been working on that with our head assistant coach, Allison, today. And I have a nice, easy, quick lift. It's more like a deload core accessory type thing that Noah gave me for today, since I'm still recovering from last week's adventures. So I'm gonna go hit the gym and I'm gonna take you with me. All right, so I'm back home. I have a meeting in 25 minutes, so I'm gonna eat super fast and then wrap it up and call it a night. So that is a lovely little day in the life of running, lifting, biz boss babing, and announcing that I am running a 50 miler. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And again, let me know in the comments what you want to see during the next few weeks as I'm preparing and peaking for this race. And I will catch you guys on the next video.